fame, but wholly lean on Jesus' name. On Christ, the solid rock, we stand. All other ground is sinking sand. Guide our steps, direct our paths and control our minds. Be the leader in all our deliberations, and may your divine grace continue to abide with us. With hope and trust in you, we put all that its hold into your hands. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Good morning, Mr. Witness. Can you stand here? Face that camera. Welcome to this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and Related Matters. Mr. Witness, in which language do you wish to make your testimony? In which language do you wish to make your testimony? Can you speak into the mic?
English is fine.
Okay. What is your religion?
Not a religion.
Oh, no religion. Okay. Madam Chair.
Mr. Secretary, let him affirm.
Affirm, okay. Can you affirm? Then repeat after me. Raise your right hand up and then repeat after me. I Peter Vanslambrouck,
Peter Vanslambrouck,
do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare that, the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. You may be kindly seated. Madam Chair, the witness is sworn. I have the honor to hand over the witness for us to proceed. You may kindly sit.
Good morning, Mr. Peter Vanslambrouck.
Good morning, Madam.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Councillor, you may proceed.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, and good morning to everyone present. Can you tell the Commission what your name is?
Hello, my name is Peter Vanslambrouck.
What is your address?
My address?
Yes.
I live in Belgium, Spoorwegstraat 22 in Ostend.
Right. We call you today because we obtained a statement from you. by the investigators. You told them your own side of the B.C.C. Ostend project, and it was written down, and you signed it. Do you recall this?
Yes.
Please, that is the document that is before you. Go through it.
Yeah, okay, I went through it.
Thank you. We apply to tender the statement of Peter Vanslambrouck into evidence as an exhibit.
The statement dated 11th of July 2023 is hereby admitted in evidence, and it is marked as LGC/BCC/PV/001.
As the Commission places. Now, Mr. Peter, you were employed by the Ostend City Council to coordinate the city link between the Ostend and Banjul, correct?
That's correct.
And after which there was a project that you had between the Ostend and B.C.C.
Excuse me, can you repeat your question, please?
After which there was a project
Yeah, correct.
between Ostend and B.C.C.
Yeah.
Banjul City Council. Can you tell us how the project came about and what the project is about, briefly?
Okay. So we submitted a concept note to the EU in the end of 2018. Then in 2019 we did consultations, a lot of consultations in Banjul with local stakeholders to identify the full proposal. This was submitted in February 19. And finally, we were informed by the EU, the Commission, that a subvention was granted in June 2019. So then the news came to us. Finally, the project started 1st of December, and the final kickoff, when the project really kicked off, was March 2020. So the contents of the project is actually 5 main components. First component is capacity building for the Banjul City Council. Secondly, waste management. Thirdly, the greening of the city, which also has some sub-components. The mangroves, the beach, and the inner city. We also have been working on the complete rehabilitation and renovation of the former Crab Island Upper Basic School. And then also we had a health component in the project which was focusing on burn research for children based on aloe vera, and also on hand hygiene in the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. That in a nutshell.
Thank you. And yes, in addition to the 3 million euros that you have received from the EU, you were to contribute, the city of Ostend had a certain sum to contribute, and also Banjul City Council as well should have a financial contribution. Is that correct?
Correct.
And how much is agreed?
So the city of Ostend should have contributed 150,000 euro, and the Banjul City Council 7,805 euro. But the City Council of Ostend contributed much more than the 150,000 in the end, because the project was actually extended for 2 more years. So it was a non-cost extension, so it means the European Commission would not add anything more there. So anything more that should be added was added thanks to the Ostend City Council.
Do you know exactly how much was added? Roughly.
Roughly, no. I should check my figures to give you, because roughly is a bit difficult.
Okay, we will
At
appreciate.
least 100,000 more, but I cannot. I should check my figures to give you a correct figure for that.
How about Banjul City Council? Did they contribute their own financial?
Sorry, Peter, you can note that and you can provide us with.
Yes, of course. I can give you a financial report. That's not a
Yes.
problem. Eh?
Yes, please note that so that you can provide us with the financial report.
No problem.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And how about Banjul City Council? Did they meet up with their financial contribution?
I think so. Yes.
All right. Now, the accounts of the project.
Thank you.
How many accounts did the project have, and how were they opened, if you have an idea?
As far as I know, we started with B.C.C account, Sahelo Bank, and then after some time there was a decision made by the team to switch to EcoBank, and I assume this was related to better rates from Euro to Dalasi.
That was what you were told.
Excuse me?
That was what you were told. You said you.
Yeah, I assume. I don't know. I really don't know.
Right.
I was not the project coordinator, to be clear.
Okay. Now, who controlled the accounts? Were the accounts controlled by B.C.C entirely?
Yes.
And is there any form of approval that needs to be that is required from B.C.C if they are to make withdrawals and expenditure towards the project?
Well, can you just repeat again your question, because I don't hear you very well.
If B.C.C is to make in the project, if they are to make withdrawals from the accounts, do they require any form of approval from either you or anyone at the Ostend link?
The beginning of the project, it was not like that.
There were?
It was not like that. They didn't need approval, but after some time, then we agreed that approval was to be given. And then my colleague Jonas Scharrens, he was the project coordinator. He was the one who gave approval for payments.
Why did you need approval afterwards, when in the beginning there was no need to have the approval?
Because we did not always agree on the way how some expenditure was made.
Can you give examples?
There was an example, for example, there was a crisis with some, in Tobacco Road in Banjul, with some flood victims. And there was a decision made within B.C.C to support these victims. For us, it was not really part of the EU project, so for us it was a bit difficult to allocate these funds in that direction. Of course, we can always file them under indirect costs, but actually that was not the original spirit of the project. With all respect for these victims of the floods, of course. So then afterwards we decided that it's good that we also have a stake in a very formal approval, which was then organized, and it was my colleague Jonas who was giving then approval.
And how is this approval given?
It was given through digital banking through the Omni account of the EcoBank.
So is the approval given to the bank, or you have to okay every transaction with B.C.C, as in when they want to do an expenditure, then they have to send you an email?
They send an email, the bank send an email. Mostly they send first an email just to process the team, and then that was followed by an email from the bank, and then my colleague had to go to the digital banking system of EcoBank and approve the payment.
It doesn't go for...
But only for payments from a certain threshold. This threshold changed a few times, so it was sometimes 10,000, above 10,000, then it was above 20,000. So it changed a few times, this threshold.
And the bank know about this? The arrangement with the bank, they know about the approval that must be sought from you people?
Of course, it's a digital banking system. If the bank is not familiar with with Jonas Gerrans, he could never enter their system.
Now, you are aware that the project had to follow that they, in doing their expenditure, they must follow procurement regulations?
Yes, of course. Procurement regulations were, according to what I know, always clearly being followed. I think so.
What? Come again?
I think that the procedures were clearly followed. I think when it was necessary, the GPPA was guiding us. In the beginning of the project, we worked, I think, only on Prague rules, so these European rules, which are much stricter than GPPA. Then we switched to GPPA, which was also good for capacity building for the Banjul City Council.
Were you aware that there were so many?
What do you say? Were you aware of?
Were you aware that there were so many expenditures that were done without procurement guidelines?
Without procurement?
You were aware?
No. Can you give me an example? What, for example, was done without procurement?
Do you have a list of all the procurement activities that were conducted in this project?
I think I know what kind of things was subject to procurement. I think so, yes.
Is there a report that you guys receive in relation to procurement activities?
I think most expenses we did from a certain threshold was all based on GPPA procurements.
No, but do you have a list? Do you have a procurement list of activities that were conducted by B.C.C in the project in relation to procurement?
I assume that is like this, but as I tell you, I am not a project coordinator,
Okay.
but I assume there is definitely, this information is definitely available.
Very well. Now, there was a steering committee. You aware of this?
The steering committee, yes, I'm aware of the steering committee.
Do you know how it was? They were appointed.
Do you know how it was?
They were appointed.
How they were appointed? Oh, it was a difficult process. We found that in the first year of our project was a very difficult year. It was the year of COVID-19. So the kickoff was quite difficult, and we also noticed that a steering committee would be very helpful to spearhead the project. So in 21, it was initiated. It was a very difficult process. Finally, it was working fine, I think. Maybe with too many people. That's my personal observation, but that was also the dynamics that were going on in the council. And from time to time, people were added there, and then finally, I think by 23, it has changed also again. So finally, they were dismissed again, and then a new steering committee. So it was a very, let's say, dynamic body.
Peter, there was a period that the steering committee had, they gave themselves loans from these, from the project finances. Mm-hmm. Were you aware of this?
I'm aware of that, yes.
Were you aware of this during the time that the loan was given, or after?
What are you aware of?
Were you aware prior to the issuing of the loan, or after?
No, I was not aware prior.
So how did you know about the loan?
I was informed through my colleague, Jonas Gerrans.
What was your reaction?
Well, loans are not possible with EU funds.
They are not possible?
Of course not.
Right. Any questions for this witness? Peter, that's all for you. Thanks for your time.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
So,
Thanks.
sorry, let me just ask one question. Mr. Peter,
yes.
You have said that there is audit of the project. Do you have a copy of the audit report?
Yes, of course, no problem.
So please avail us a copy of the audit report.
Okay, no problem.
Now, based on your assessment, would you say the project was a success?
I think we created quite a lot of successes, definitely, and I think we also had quite some failures. For example, if I take a look at The beach in Banjul, I think it is a very big success. If you see how we were really able, through a natural approach, through growing vegetation, more particular coconuts, really to make the beach growing in Banjul, because that was the main concern, the fact that the beach is really eroding, and the beach restoration was quite important. So I think that is quite successful. The inner city greening, I think I would call this reasonable success, could have been better. Mangrove planting was very challenging. We planted quite a lot of mangroves, but a lot of them died also, which was, of course, nature, you cannot always dictate this. I think when we come to the rehabilitation and the renovation for Crab Island, I think we did a wonderful job. I don't know if anybody went there already or not. The whole school has been renovated, a new hall has been completely constructed, a lot of materials. This is really an education center for the 21st century, quite unique in its kind, I think. So I think that was very successful. When it comes to the waste management component, I think a lot of efforts have been done, but we were not able structurally to upgrade to a higher level, actually. So, okay, we provided the council with trucks, with bins, with protective gear for the people, but we see that it's very, very difficult really to make, to go to a higher level. So for the waste component, I think that could have been much more successful. That's probably the most weakest point. When it comes to the health component, I think we made a big difference with this health research, specifically for these children, the patients with burn wounds who have been treated with aloe vera. Also the fact that through this research, it can be integrated in the work of the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. Also, the hand hygiene was quite important, and it was also the relevance was very clear in COVID time, because then everybody was much more aware of this hand hygiene. When it comes to the the capacity building programs for the council, I think very successful were definitely scholarships. Quite a lot of people received scholarship for different kind of educations, from accountancy to IT and development studies and others. We did some very interesting trainings and workshops for example, counselors. We also did interesting workshops for stakeholders from civil society. But to be honest, results could have also been better, because Banjul City Council is it's a weak institution, I have to say. Capacity building is really very needed, and I was hoping we could have achieved more there.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter.
You're welcome, Mrs. Ba.
Yes, Commissioner Silla has a question.
Peter.
Mrs. Silla, good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Fine. How many trucks have you provided for the Banjul City Council?
How many?
Trucks.
Trucks.
Garbage trucks.
I think it was a skip truck and
how many?
And one, how do I call it? A compactor. A compactor and a skip truck.
One compactor and one skip truck.
That's what I think is.
Okay.
But
do you know if they are operational or not?
I see them. I see him working in Banjul. Yes.
Since when? When was it?
Since they were bought.
Since when was the last time you saw them?
I think yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday evening.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Peter, thank you so much. Please kindly provide the information we have requested from you. You can drop in the information through the registrar on Monday.
Yeah.
All right.
Can I send it through email to somebody?
Yes, you can send the email through to the
Mr. Camara?
registrar.
Okay. So as far as I remember, it's the financial report
Yes,
and also this audit report. Eh?
yes.
Okay. All right, no problem.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Yes. Peter? Yes, did you have the reports done yearly? The project was a 3-year project, right?
Initially, the project was 3 years, and
Yes.
then it was extended actually to 5 years.
So the monitoring and the reports are yearly, right?
We have different, yeah, indeed. Yearly, we were reporting. Yes,
Yes, so we will want the reports
That's
for
no
the
problem.
entire duration of the project.
Definitely not a
Whether they
problem.
are quarterly or yearly.
That's not a problem. We can provide you.
Thank you so much.
No problem. You're welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Witness. Mr. Witness, welcome back.
Thank you.
Continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters. I want to remind you that you are still under oath before I hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
morning,
Madam.
Mr. Camara.
Good morning, Ma.
You're welcome back.
Thank you, Ma.
Council, you may proceed.
Yes, Mr. Camara,
Yes, Council.
continuing from where we stopped yesterday,
Okay.
but I want to ask you about the Moroccan fund. The Moroccan fund. You have it stated in your statement as well.
Yes, Council. But I want to tender some documentations that were pending. Thank you. First, I would like to tender the staff rotation that carried, among others, Mustafa A.B. Sar, who emerged as the least performer in the trade license unit in 2021.
Yes.
And based on that, as Director of Finance, I moved him to the market.
Yes.
So that's the memo to buttress that assertion. And then again, I'd also like to tender, as agreed yesterday, about the IFMIS refresher letter to the Accountant General's Department.